All right, today we're diving into a stone cold classic, Ray Bradbury's incredible novel, Something Wicked This Way Comes. We're going to walk through the plot of this amazing dark fantasy beat by beat to see just how a mysterious carnival completely terrorizes a small town. Let's get into it. Right from the very first page, the book hits you with this chilling quote from Proverbs. It just sets this perfectly dark and unsettling tone. You know, it's basically telling you right from the get-go that the evil we're about to meet is ancient, it's hungry, and it feeds on people's pain. So, here's how we're going to break down the story. It's really a four-act roller coaster. We start with the carnival's creepy arrival, then we'll see its twisted magic in action. After that, our heroes get hunted down, which all leads up to one final epic confrontation. Okay, so our story kicks off in Greentown, Illinois. It's a place that seems totally normal, totally quiet. It's late October, the shadows are getting longer, and you can just feel that something wicked is brewing on the horizon. And at the heart of it all are two 13-year-old best friends, Will Holloway and Jim Nightshade. They're practically brothers, born just minutes apart on either side of midnight on Halloween Eve. And as they're just hanging out, they have absolutely no idea that their lives are about to be turned upside down. The very first sign that something is wrong comes walking into town. It's a lightning rod salesman, and he claims he can feel a storm coming. But not just any storm. A special, terrible one. And he says it's coming straight for Jim Nightshade's house. Yeah, this is definitely not about the weather. And then later that night, it arrives. A train rolls into town, but it doesn't make a sound. Nothing. It's like a ghost train pulling a carnival that seems to build itself right out of the darkness and the silence of the night. So creepy. That lightning rod salesman, he gets the first real peek at the carnival's weirdness. He's walking through town and finds one of its exhibits already set up. And inside this huge block of ice is a woman, the most beautiful woman he's ever seen, frozen in time. So by the next morning, the whole carnival is up and running, calling out to all the town's people. And this is where we really start to see its true colors, especially for anyone who gets a little too close. Will and Jim go to the carnival, and who do they bump into? Their 7th grade teacher, Miss Foley. She seems a little lonely, and she tells them she's there looking for her nephew, Robert, who's come for a visit. While she's waiting for him, Miss Foley decides to check out the mirror maze. But come on, you know this isn't going to be your normal everyday fun house. What kind of twisted reflections are waiting for her in there? Will gets this really bad feeling. He looks at the maze and just sees this cold, deep mirror ocean. He tries to warn her, tells her people get lost. And even though it sounds simple, you can feel he means it in a really deep, chilling way. Of course, she just laughs it off and walks right in. The boys just have to stand there and watch as her reflection multiplies over and over again until she just disappears, swallowed up by the glass. A little while later, she stumbles back out looking totally dazed. And she's not alone. There's a young boy with her, who she says is her nephew, Robert. As if that's not weird enough, the boys hear that the town barber, who was also at the carnival, just suddenly died. The coincidences are starting to stack up. Okay, so this is where everything shifts. Will and Jim have seen the carnival's secret. They saw a carousel that literally makes people younger or older. They know too much. And now, they're not just watching the show. They're the ones being hunted. The carnival lays this perfect evil trap. That kid, Robert, finds the boys on the street, starts screaming for the police, and then throws a bunch of Miss Foley's jewelry right at their feet. And right on cue, Miss Foley looks out her window and sees them with her stolen things. They've been framed. It's brilliant, and it's terrifying. And as they're running away, It hits Will. They are completely and utterly trapped. The carnival didn't just frame them for theft, it destroyed their credibility. I mean, who's going to believe two kids talking about an evil carnival now? No one. They'll just sound like delinquents making up crazy stories. So, how does the carnival go looking for two hiding boys? In the most chilling way possible, they throw a parade. All the freaks and performers march through the town, smiling and playing music. But really, it's a search party, and their eyes are scanning every single shadow for Will and Jim. And that brings us to the grand finale. The boys are cornered, they're out of ideas, and the whole fight against this ancient evil ends up falling on the shoulders of the most unlikely hero you can imagine. Will's quiet older father, Charles Halloway, who's just the town librarian. The boys make a run for the library. You know, the one place they feel safe, but they get found. The leader of the carnival, Mr. Dark, a guy covered in tattoos that seem to be alive, corners them. Charles Halloway tries to step in, but Mr. Dark just crushes his hand and snatches the boys. And then Mr. Dark does something just unbelievably cruel. He drags the boys to a window just in time for them to see their own mothers walking by in the street, completely oblivious. And he whispers this line to them, just rubbing in how helpless they are. So, for the final showdown at the carnival, Jim, who has always been fascinated with being older, gets tempted onto the merry-go-round. But the thing goes wild. It spins so fast it ages him years in just a few seconds, and then throws his body to the ground. Will and his dad rush over to Jim's side. He's just lying there, motionless. His eyes are empty. And in that moment, it really truly feels like it's over, like the darkness has won. But Charles Halloway has figured it out. He's found the carnival's one weakness. All these dark creatures, they feed on fear, on sadness, on misery. So instead of fighting them with hate, he does the opposite. He laughs. He smiles. He feels pure joy. He literally starves the evil of its power. And as he does, Mr. Dark just falls apart. The carnival disappears. Mr. Dark is gone, but Jim is still lying there close to death. So Will and his dad have to use that same weapon, joy, life, laughter, running to bring Jim back. And that's where the story leaves us with this incredible lingering question. Once the monsters are gone, how do you recover from the terrible things they showed you?